Hi guys, in today's video I thought I'd talk about undercoating your models. I did a little video a few weeks ago probably now about the Citadel technical paint, the Imperial Primer, which was that black paint on primer which came in a regular pot. But what I usually do is spray coat my models, and I thought I'd go over the different kinds of sprays that I use. So I think, yes, I've got all of the ones I've got in here. So, to start off with, the ones that you might be most familiar with are the Citadel ones. I've got a Kaos Black, you can't even see that, can you? Let's move that up. There we go, look, there's a Kaos Black and there's a Skull White. These are kind of tried and true. They're not the cheapest ones to buy, but I found for quality, they're great. You get a really nice coat and really great to paint on. Always happy with these ones. Been using them for 20 odd, not 20 odd years, but at least 10, 15 years probably, and they've been, you know, great. You can go through a can quite quickly, but obviously with spray paint that's how it goes, you just spray it all off, don't you? So those are pretty cool. If you're ever in doubt and you want to try spray priming, if you've never tried it before, you can't go wrong with popping into your local game store or games workshop and having a can of one of those. For general use, which one you go for colour wise depends on what colour scheme you want with your army. If you want to have a kind of a bright light colour scheme, obviously you'd go for the white. If you're painting a lot of metals or darker colours, you'd use black. So for example, if you're painting Necrons, Kaos Black would be great. You can spray paint a lot of Necrons at once in black, and then you can just dry brush them with a silver or kind of a lead belcher or bolt gun metal colour, and they'll look fantastic in no time at all. You wouldn't want to use white if you were going to do metallics. It wouldn't look right. You'd have to do quite a few layers of the metallic paint to get that looking good. Of course, the other alternative is one of the other brands I use. It's Army Painter. Again, these ones are similar to the Citadel paints, but they have a very kind of different way of using them. You have to hold the can a lot further away, I believe, than you would with the Citadel ones, and they seem to have a lot more, what would you say, painty feel to them, rather than priming. These could probably do a car. It's a heavier can for a start, and you have to shake it for quite a lot longer than you would. The Citadel ones you can get away with shaking for about 30 seconds. These things you want to shake for about 2 minutes. Give them a good old shake. And the technique for spraying will be different as well. In fact, I should probably have a little bit of a word about that as well. So with the Army Painter ones, when you spray, you'd get it, and instead of having like short bursts, you'd spray in longer bursts, but keep the can moving. So let's say here's the tree man. If I was going to prime him, you go kind of like that, but kind of all over, turning the tree man as you went to make sure you got a smooth, even coat without it going on too thick. Now, I found with the Army Primer one, as you spray it, it does look like it's gone on quite thick. It does look almost like some of your detail is being obscured. But if you leave it, let it dry, and that does sort itself out. It sort of settles and it loses its volume quite quickly. Now with the Citadel sprays, I find the best technique after you've given it a good shake for 30 seconds is to use very short, sharp bursts with it. Maybe this is wrong, but this is how I found the best results. So you'd have your tree man again, you'd have him there. I used white for this, but you could easily use black if you wanted a darker tree man. So it'd be like, and then just, you know, get all the angles there. But I find a short burst is the best for using the Citadel ones, because it can go on quite quickly, quite thickly, and these ones can obscure the detail. So that's the kind of technique you want to use with those. The other ones I've used, these are the only other types I've tried, are the Humbrol Acrylic Sprays. There's one that says Hobby Spray, one that says Acrylic Spray. They're both pretty much the same. So you've got this green one, which I use for my Wood Elves. Great for getting the Glade Guard and Glade Riders kind of quickly sprayed. Nice base colour for them. This is the light olive 86 colour. It's a nice matte one. And then I've got this one, the acrylic spray in Desert Yellow number 93, another matte one. This is the one I used for my Glade Rider horses, and I'll also be using it for my Tomb Kings as the base colour. So it's quite a dark sandy colour, that Desert Yellow. So it's great because it'll get the bases as well. You spray this on your Tomb Kings, give them a dry brush with a nice stone kind of colour, whatever Deneb stone would be called now perhaps, and you'll get a really nice looking army very, very quickly. These ones I've found are roughly the same technique as the Citadel ones. You can hold them a bit closer, short sharp bursts, you get a really nice even coverage with those, and there's no problems. Of course, what I would say is for a lot of them, for example with these Humbrol ones, you might find that they actually sell an actual pot of paint in the same colour, which is really useful if you kind of miss a spot. Same with the Army Painter. That's pure red. You can get the pure red in a paint pot as well. So sometimes you'll spray and there'll just be a little section, maybe under an armpit or the backside of a weapon, that you just don't quite get. And it's really great. If you have the little pot of paint, you can just match it really easily. That used a matched blood red, but obviously with the new Citadel colours, you haven't got a standard Citadel colour which will match. So yeah, you probably try and keep within the same range. So if you're using a Citadel undercoat, use the Citadel paint of the same colour to kind of get any spots. With the Army Painter, you get the Army Painter pure red pot. With Humbrol or Tamiya or whatever other brand you use. I don't know if Vallejo do sprays. If they do, I haven't tried them, but I'd like to. But yeah, that's it. Those are the brands I've tried. I'd say, to be honest, my least favourite was the Army Painter, just because it's a little bit more hassle to use, and it doesn't quite give the same nice results as the other ones. So yeah, I'd probably try and get a red one of these for my towel, because I've been using the Army Painter for my towel, and it does go on. It's a little bit shinier. These ones are in lovely matte, and so are the Citadel ones. The Army Painter one has got a bit of a gloss to it. So I think it's a case of trying, see what works for you. But I would definitely recommend the Humbrol or the Citadel ones. And yeah, the Army Painter I'd recommend if you can't find the other colours you want. But if you look at these, obviously the Army Painters also come in bigger cans. The Humbrols seem to come in these smaller cans only, as far as I'm aware. So if you're doing a lot of models, these might be a good choice. So what sprays do you use? How do you get your models based? Based? I'm going mad. Base coated. That's the one. How do you do it? Do you use a spray? Do you paint? Tell me what you reckon. Post your comments below. And that's it for me for this video. I'll see you in the next one.